Hey guys, this is Jimmy from jimmysdiy.com. Today we're going to be installing EMT for WHD70 camera on Ford Escape 2011. That's my dad's car, so we purchased this camera from Amazon to add a camera. He doesn't need it, but it's for us, basically when we need to back up the car. Now we used to the new cars where the camera is connected, and without the camera we can't back up. So let's get the ball rolling on this. You see here is the Ford Escape trunk open. We're going to be removing this liner here. There are 4 screws here, one here, one here, one there, and one on that side. And then we're gonna remove these, and then this is gonna basically give us access to run the wire for the brake light, or the reverse light, I should say. So that's what the process is. Today is actually the first video where my dad's assisting me, and I'm gonna be basically recording, and he's gonna be doing all the work, or maybe I'll assist. This panel is hooked up with the clips. Once you remove the screws, you could wiggle it off. We got the locks out. These are the clips that were holding it. Right here. These clips are the one that holds the liner with the trunk body. All right, you can see here we took off the trunk liner, and the trunk liner is sitting here. Remember, when you are removing it, you just need to lower the trunk down and then pick up the glass mirror, and then the liner is basically held by also the lock mechanism. So that's how we took it off. You slide off up on top. All right, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna install the backup camera. All right, so what we're doing here is we checked if we were gonna run the wire from this light. We took it off, but it was no go, so we were basically taking off this trim. That's plastic held by 2 screws and a few locks. We took off the 2 screws here, one here, and we're just gonna check if there's any other screw. So this is learn as we go type of thing. Okay, so there were 2 more screws that are in there, like nut bolts. One in here, one on the other side. Right here. Let's see, hold on. Right over here. In this place, and then one on the other side. We're gonna take that off, and that should help remove the panel with the emblem Ford logo on it. Right in there. So we found out there are plastic locks here, one here and one here. So you take them out and it should lift up, and then looks like there are 2 more right in this big hole. So these 2 right here where my fingers are, 4 screws, 1, 2,
4 screws for low,
3, and one on the other side. So 4 screws that are held by nuts, and then 4 plastic locks. Alright, so we basically took off the screws and the locks. Now this came off right here. First thing, we're gonna basically clean this, so I'm gonna quickly get a rag and clean this up real quick. Alright, so we're gonna have to drill a hole to get the wire in, because these spots are already for the screws. So we're gonna basically drill a hole right next to it with the holes with the drill. We're trying to avoid multiple holes, so we're just gonna. So what we did is we created a small hole right next to the one where we put the screw in, so we could fish the wire from the existing slot on the inside, not from the outside. And best way to is we're gonna apply a little bit of clear coat so it doesn't rust up on the spot. So or you could apply any nail polish or anything like that. And then we're just gonna tighten the screws up for the camera to just see how it works out. We're just gonna leave it loose for now. We'll go to the adjustment later on. So we're gonna put the trim back on, and you simply basically press it in.
That's it.
And that's all. We're gonna put the screws later, so we're gonna open the trunk up. And we got the wires here. These are the two wires we basically pulled in. That's the camera wire for a video, and then that's the ground wire right here. And now we're gonna remove one of the rear tail light, and it's held by two screws. One on top, one on bottom, and then it just pulls right out easily. No yanking, nothing. And we're installing on the passenger side because there's a space on the passenger side inside, so you could run the wires in. Reverse thirty. Reverse 30, huh? And then if you can see, the white connector is the one for the reverse light, and that's where we're going to be tapping in this one. That's the word. What we're going to do here is we're going to run the wire from this area all the way and get it out of here. So we pull this off. These are the black rubber wire holders that they have. We took them off, and we're going to basically fish the wire in. We're going to run the wire from this area. It's all open here. This whole channel is open. So when we run the wire, I'm gonna come back and show. Dad played a smart way here. He pulled off the C-pillar trim, which is the last trim, pillar trim. He pulled it off a little bit, and he's running the electrical wire to fish a camera wire from here. I basically took a hanger wire, and then he ran the wire from here, pulled it out of the pillar trim on the up inside, so he doesn't have to drill any hole right there. Got the wire, the hanger wire from here. We pulled it out right over here. Show you. Let me see from the other side. This is the hanger wire we pulled out. So we're gonna basically send the wire from here. I want to mention that if you don't want to go through all the haggles, you could just lift up this weather seal and run the wire from here to inside. That would be the quickest way. That's how we did on my cousin's car. But we're just gonna go actually like the factory way. They fish the wire from one of these existing holes. This is the wire that's connect to the camera for power, and this is going to connect to the basically your reverse light. And this one simply connects in. White wire, we basically pulled it out from by connecting the hanger and from this hole. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna basically connect the power cables for the camera to this white wire from top, and then we're gonna fish it down here. That's what we're basically trying to achieve at this point. Alright, so what we did is we pulled a hanger wire from this hole that came directly from here. We fished the hanger from here, right here. This is the hanger, so we ran it from inside here and we pulled it out here. It was a little hassle, but we got it through. And now we're gonna basically tie that wire, the camera power wire, and we're gonna pull it in here so it's all cleaned up and streamlined. Like there's no open gouges or anything like that. This is gonna be like a factory type installation, but with the aftermarket camera. We're just taping it so it doesn't pop out when we fetching the wire. We're gonna slowly pull it out from this side, and the wire should come through. The wire is gonna get fed through here now. There we go, we got that wire out for the camera, power wire. Alright, next we're gonna run this wire from here, this hole, inside, and that should come out over here in this area, and then we're gonna run the wire from this side with this white wire. That should bring the wire over here, outside. Pull this wire from here, and we took it out from this side right here, and we're gonna connect this. And we're gonna run this wire from this hole all the way down here. Alright, so we got that through the A-pillar trim right here. This wire from here. And we're gonna now run with this wire by connecting this wire, the white wire. We pulled the wire out from this area here, and the wire, I will show you again, inside. We fed the wire from here all the way in here, and then this is the wire. This is the wire you see in my finger. That's the wire that went down. And now we're gonna basically connect this to this one. You could either use, snip it from here and then use T-tap connector, or you can use splice connector to connect the wire together. Let's figure out what we're gonna do here. So what we're gonna use is this, one of the butt splice connector. We're not gonna use the T-tap connector they provide that came out with the camera. We're just gonna go officially with this. So what you do is you connect the wire and you push it down, you crimp it. Decided to go with the T-tap at this point. It's much easier. We don't have to cut the wires, I guess. So we're gonna give this one a shot. Last time I had issue with it, but let's see if this works. Then we're good. If not, then we're gonna have to switch to the other one. So what you do is you slide the wire in, and then you're gonna slide the original wire in one of the hole, and then you press the basically metal thing to crimp it. These T-taps so tight. Alright, so what we did is we just connected the cigarette lighter here just to test it, and then I connect the cigarette lighter wire to the screen here, and gonna turn on the screen. Turn on. That's how it comes up. So we're just gonna have to pair this. It should pair itself, actually. Alright, so the main work is done. We're just tightening the trim back. We did one screw here. What we did is we used the C-clamp to put the ground wire with the wire nut to ground it. And then this is the camera wire. We're gonna basically wire tie it. And we're just putting the nuts back on. 4 of them are done, and the rear area here is done. The main part is basically your rear wire. So we're in the reverse gear now, right here. It's on the reverse shifter, and the camera is turned on. You can see the quality is super good here. We lost it. Okay, that means basically power wire is cut, and when you do reverse, it comes right back on. This is so amazing, and the quality is superb. You could also control the angle of the camera on the back as well, which I will show here. You basically go to the, you can see the lights are on, reverse light, and then the camera angle is self-adjustable like this. So it's phenomenal. And then let's go back now to do set this back up, put this back up, and we're gonna run the wire nicely inside to it in the dash. All right, we're fishing the wire from here. Like this area here. Alright, so we got this wire right here pulled up. This is where we left off the wire, and then I'm using fuse tap. So I found out the last fuse here is spare on my car. You're gonna have to check it, and then I use the voltmeter to test it. So I put my black lead on the voltmeter on the metal here inside, and then the red one on the fuse, and it gave me power. So that's the way you check it. And then I tapped in, I basically added this clamp so I could tap the ground basically on this connector here, and then the black is the hot wire, so I'm gonna tap that to the fuse. So it's basically, at this point, you're just gonna tap this in the fuse slot here, and then you're just gonna tighten this with the screw. I'll come back when I'm done with this thing. Alright, so we did the fuse tap here, and then the black wire went on the ground here, and now when we tested it, it came back up. You could do, if you don't feel comfortable doing this way, then you could use the cigarette lighter, which is here. That's connected with the wire, but we're not going to use that because obviously it uses up the cigarette lighter, so we want the fuse tap. So with the fuse tap, remember number 16 on my car was empty. You could also test it with your booklet or manual. Mine is a hybrid model, so if you have XLT, might be something. This was free though for me. All right, so now we're gonna go back and install the rest of the stuff, panels on the rear trunk and stuff like that. So we're installing this now, back, finishing it up. I'm gonna help my dad with this. Putting these screws back on now. Two done, two more to go. No wires out. The only thing is left is this. Now we're gonna connect the light back on. So now we're installing the light back on. The bulbs are in. All right. Simply slide it in. And then we're gonna tighten two screws that one here, one here. And the very last thing is we're gonna put back that trim right here. That simply connects with the original trim. I mean the trunk liner or the trunk trim, and then the A-pillar trim slides in. Nice. We connected back this trim, so that's it. We're done, guys. So we got this everything settled out in here. We put this screen here, ran the wire from, like, we just pushed the wire here, and there's a cap on the side right here. We open that, we put the wire in there. That's how we got it, and then the wire is obviously tapped into the fuse. So final test, reverse, the camera goes on. It's perfect. There's no visible wires at this point. I do want to mention that we had to basically modify the fuse cover because it would not fit with the fuse tap. So that's just you're gonna have to figure out where you tap into it. So that's about it. And I hope this video helped you out on installing DIY, basically installing your backup camera This EM Tifo is really great camera, and I do recommend it. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.